Plenty of movement overseas, particularly when it comes to Donald Trump and getting this jury ready. Joining us is our US analyst, Michael Ware. Michael, good to see you as always. It's kind of becoming comical, this whole jury selection process. The fact that, there's only 5 after a couple of days now who are locked in?
No, I have an update. But
go.
First, I will say that isn't this grand political theatre? The first former president ever to face a criminal trial. I mean, you couldn't write this if you dreamed. But I can tell you, we now have a jury. 12 jurors have been selected. One of the alternative has been selected. We need 5 more. Now, all this appeared wobbly just hours ago this morning because 2 of the selected jurors had to either bow out or be kicked out. One bowed out because she said that through little clues and little pieces of information in the media, everyone in her family and community recognized that you're one of the jurors, aren't you? So she asked to be relieved, and she was. A second juror had to be pulled in because of past media posts she made that were very critical of former President Donald Trump. She called him a racist, a sexist, a narcissist. And when she was forced to read out her own social media post in front of the court, her response was, oops, that does sound bad, doesn't it? But after such a wobbly start, we now have a full jury impaneled. We have 1 of 6 alternate impaneled, and a new jury panel of 100 prospective jurors are being brought in tomorrow. It's distinctly possible this trial could start on Monday.
Wow. Okay. So, I mean, it's very difficult to see how people leave their political leanings out of this, though. Is it not, Michael?
Of course it is. I mean, it's basic human nature. But, the devil's argument to that is that we have seen previous civil trials involving President Trump where juries have been able to say, yes, of course I've heard of him. Yes, of course I know the stories, good and bad, about him. Yes, I have feelings about him or views regarding him. However, I can put that history and my views aside and I can be impartial.
Okay.
So the question here isn't whether do you know Trump or like him or dislike him. It's whether you can distance yourself enough to make a fair assessment.
So on that fair assessment then, if the jury decides that he's guilty, what happens then?
Oh, mate. Pandora's box opens and goodness knows what's going to spew out. Look, theoretically, I mean, he's facing 34 felony counts. And it's for cases of making false corporate bookkeeping records to cover up hush money payments to a porn star, disguising them as retainer payments to a lawyer, all allegedly for the purpose of subverting the 2016 election. President Trump did not want this porn star coming out and saying they had an affair, so he paid her off. That technically is not illegal. What is illegal is falsifying corporate records for the alleged purpose of subverting an election. So, look, that carries a prison term. Personally, I don't see any judge in Manhattan daring to give President Trump a prison term, but he would have felony convictions, and that has broad ramifications. Jail time or no jail time.
In an election year. Michael Ware.
Yeah, mate.
Good to chat. We'll talk to you next week. Who knows what we're going to be talking about next week, but fair chance it's going to be in this space.